Hello everyone, my name is Pixlriffs. Welcome back to Decidedly Vanilla on the 5th Choice server. Welcome back to the Nameless Ruin. Welcome back to the Drowned Abbey. Welcome back to Gravel. I guess? I don't know. We've got a bunch of sponge now. I raided an ocean monument and it had 3 sponge rooms, you guys. 3. That was such a stroke of luck. And I got in there and I showed them what for. I kicked butt. I managed to get myself a stack and a half of sponge, and with that we are going to dry out the inside of the Drowned Abbey. I've already got the bell tower done, and at the recommendation of a couple of people, it's not actually going to have a bell in it. The bell is going to have long ago fallen out, as I just did, and is going to be kind of resting on the floor in here, probably in pieces. But check this out, this is actually a really cool pattern. I put some sponge kind of around the walls, just kind of spammed it a little bit to get it where I want it to be, and all of the water now kind of falls in through the gaps at the sides, which I kind of hoped it would. I was hoping that it wouldn't kind of flood into the middle, but I don't know enough about Minecraft water physics yet to really plan stuff like this, so... Alright, Squid. So it's kind of a happy accident when it happens. This would be a really good ink farm as well. So I might end up putting some hoppers down here at the bottom to collect all of the ink if the squids end up falling through here, because goodness knows they will. But today, with the gravel, I'm going to be sectioning off areas of this to completely clear out. And I'm not entirely sure how far the water is going to go from these windows into the middle of the room, but my hope is that we can get some of this out of the way. I'm going to have to stay up here and place a bunch of the gravel, aren't I? We're going to try and get the water just kind of sit in little pools down there until I have the windows in place. But I don't want to work on the windows until I've at least got the inside dried out a little bit, because glass looks terrible next to water and I can't be bothered looking at that for ages. So I'm going to be placing gravel for most of today, just making sure that things get in place. And then one of the things that I really want to do in this place, and something actually somebody on Reddit asked if I had built a church organ at all, because I posted a photo album of the rock band stage I did in yesterday's tutorial, and I was planning on building an organ inside the Drowned Abbey at some point. So I might try and get that done today. Just get it done out of the way, and so I can post a picture of that, and it's just another feature in here that can get done. One of the other things I wanted to do around here is dry out this area here as well, because I've never really seen clay kind of exposed and surrounded by grass and stuff, and I kind of want to know what that looks like if I just let the grass kind of spread down to maybe about here. But also it's going to help me kind of slope the terrain into the water slowly but surely. If I've dried out a bunch of it over here, then I can just kind of whittle away at this stuff here, and then you'll have a better kind of slope down to the abbey. There's maybe going to be a couple of other structures down there. Someone suggested that it would look better if the abbey wasn't just by itself, and I agree. Just got to get the sand and stuff out of the way, and it's going to be a mammoth task to get that done. I might need to get a beacon back for all of the stone that's down there, although I'm not sure if you can actually insta-mine underwater because of the way it changes your mining speed. With aqua affinity and respiration and stuff, it's probably going to be okay, but I don't know for sure, so it's going to be interesting trying that out. Let's try and kind of section off like a roundish area of this. I'm not doing this in like a perfect circle, so if I'm freehanding a really bad circle right now, it doesn't matter too much. But what we're going to do is get it, so how about to about there, about where that that kind of sandbar is over there, and then we'll run around here spamming some sponge and see how far we get. I'm out of gravel, so let's throw this down a little bit there. Yeah, there we go. In kind of roughly a semicircle, semi, something circle, up to about there. Yeah, that'll do. And it could even be like dammed off, so this doesn't have to be an impermanent barrier. It could be that they've put this up to kind of stop the water coming in. I don't know. We'll see. But we've got some sponge here. I don't need the potions right now. We've got the sponge here, and I'm not sure if I can actually just go ahead and spam this everywhere, or if I'll need to section it off systematically. So let's try, shall we? It's a little bit tricky doing this all in one go. But it's effective. It's getting there. It's more or less what I wanted. Boom. Put one there, put one here, put one there. Not quite as efficient as it could be, but there you go. Just keeps coming in from all these other areas. So further along we may have to section this off here and there. Yeah, and I'm out of sponge. That was a stack. That was a stack of... Oh no, that was half a stack of sponge. Okay, not to worry. Still got plenty. Hey guys, welcome back. I just popped up from down there to show you guys this. The grass is actually spread all the way out here now, and it's really interesting seeing the variety of terrain and stuff that happens when it's generated underwater. Like, this is still technically a forest biome. If you look at the biome indicator up in the top left, then that is still a forest. It's still a forest up until you get to about here, then it becomes a beach around here, and then part of this river, and then finally deep ocean. So yeah, it's kind of interesting that even though this is still technically a forest biome, it generates all of that stuff because it knows it's underwater. So all of the clay, the gravel, the sand kind of patches like that looks really different to any other kind of terrain you see overground in Minecraft. So it's kind of fun to have it all kind of exposed like this. I'm not sure what we're going to do with it yet. Might expand the wheat field into here, but I've taken away the water source blocks, and so all of this farmland is now dry. So I'm going to like not break any of this for now. I'm going to try and preserve it for as long as possible, because the wheat will just go away, like the farmland will revert back to dirt. So down here, the Drowned Abbey is pretty much undrowned. It's kind of dry down here now. I haven't done much around the outside of it yet. I was pointing with my finger then, like you guys could see what I was pointing at. But yeah, I've sealed off the front entrance but for a couple of blocks so I can get my way in. And this is what we have so far, and I'm really happy with it so far. It's looking pretty great. The roof feels much further away now. I don't have all of the water in here, I think mainly because I can't just like float up to it, so it definitely feels like it's got a lot of atmosphere. And I might even take out some of those torches up there. Because I've got night vision on right now, it's really difficult to tell, but there are some really nice shadows around the corners of the room, and so I might see if we can work on those a little bit once I've taken off night vision and stuff. But the main reason I'm using night vision is because we have one patch left over here to get rid of, and for that we need some gravel. We have one patch of water that is still completely like flooded over there, so I'm going to take the gravel with me. I won't need that much, but be prepared. That's what I like to say. I don't like to say that. I rarely like to say that. Anyway, the bell tower, as it stands right now, is these kind of 4 or maybe 8, I guess, columns of water coming down from the ceiling, and this worked out exactly how I wanted it to, which I was quite pleased with. It took a little bit of careful sponge placement just to get them falling in tall columns like this, because water blocks like to connect. They like to kind of flow in different angles and stuff, but I got it down to just these 8 blocks that it falls into here, and then we can do something ornamental with the floor in this central section where each of the different kind of corridor sections of the building meet, and we can do something kind of central in here, like I was thinking maybe doing some sort of font so all the water kind of flowed into it there, but then the bell would have fallen on top of that and like smashed it up. And so yeah, we'll see what we can do about that. I was thinking about maybe using some granite for the bell as well, because it could look like kind of copper. If you do granite and prismarine together, then you know the way copper kind of degrades. If you have copper statues that look all kind of grungy and kind of turquoisey, bluey green kind of colour, then that's because they've kind of eroded and they've been touched by rain and stuff, and that tends to corrode the copper. It like oxidizes it, I think is the actual term. And so yeah, so we're going to do something like that in the middle there. I'll experiment with it. I'll probably do something in creative in the meantime just to see if I can get something that looks kind of good. But if we swim up here, it's going to be a little bit slow because of the water flow, but the way to get to this section which has not yet been dried out is just to go around the outside of the building or come down from the top and then in through one of these windows. And I need to block up the windows so that the water doesn't come in the meantime. But this is the last section that needs to be completely gravelled over. And you can hear zombies in that cave that's down there, but hopefully we will be able to deal with those guys or they won't be a problem. And if we close this up completely and then do the same on the other side, I can start drying out this half of the build. And then it's going to be a matter of decorating the inside. So we'll be pretty much done after that. And it's amazing how quickly this has come together, considering it's such a large build. This is not normally my building style or my building size, but I think if I did this, it's come together quite fast because I've done this in the water and I had that freedom of movement that comes with swimming around. I don't know if I'd have been able to pull off a build this big in such a short time if I did it on land. I'd be falling off stuff constantly. I'd always run out of materials and have to like come back down and then pillar back up or get ladders or something like that. And it just, I don't know, I have a feeling it probably wouldn't have worked out as easily for me. Let's just add some stone to the end of this. The way this works right now is the end of the build just collides with this cliff wall here. I am going to do something better with this eventually. I'm just going to kind of swim up here to get some air. I'm going to make like a formal kind of stained glass window or something right at the end, just to make sure that it looks kind of presentable. But for now, it's fine just being attached to the wall like this. And so for the middle of this, I think we're probably going to have to partition it, because just spamming the sponge around was not working out for me in the other sections. We did have to kind of section it off halfway. And my night vision potion's about to run out, but that should be fine. I can start putting torches in here as well, so it's a little bit easier for you guys to see things. But you will see in a minute, I did not mean to put the sponge down, I meant to put more gravel down, but that actually worked out. It's always a pain when you place a sponge and then the water just flows in around it, so you've really got to do this kind of methodically. And I think that's probably going to be enough for us to start getting sponges in. Every now and then you place a couple and they just don't work as effectively as you'd like. And I've come out with a few dry sponges attached to walls here and there where I've been a little bit overzealous with them, but for the most part, even if you make air pockets further down, you'll notice the water just kind of like flows downwards like this. It's because I've got a couple of sponges down here before, and sooner or later it all just levels out, like so. And so we're pretty much done with that half straight away, which is... I've spammed a bunch of sponges up there, but that was only about, what, like 16, I think? I maybe had 32, 34 on me on this side, so that's pretty good going. And now all we got to do is repeat the same operation on the opposite side, and we will have ourselves a completely dried out abbey. Look at that. Almost too easy. So, we can finally start bringing down these gravel walls and granting access to the rest of the build. And I'm doing this with a shovel now, but I'll do the rest of them with a torch off camera in a second. And this place is going to be fantastic. I'm really looking forward to decorating the inside. Obviously, the main part of this, like the main structure of it, is the easy part. The hard part is going to be decorating the entire thing to make it look a little bit more put together as a building. But in fact, we are going to be tearing bits of it apart because this is meant to be a ruin after all. So sooner or later we're going to have to start bringing in the mossy stone brick and the vines and making the entirety of this inside of this place overgrown with sea life and things. So we'll see how we get on with that. I'm going to get rid of the rest of this gravel off camera. So I'm back over in Freehaven, just going to check on a couple of things. Been mining a little bit of nether quartz. Always a pleasure. There's quite a lot further out in the nether, actually, that hasn't been taken yet, which is cool. I don't feel too bad about stealing it. Okay, we've got one chain helmet. That's good. I mocked up a pipe auger design in creative mode, which I am really happy with, but it involves me having 5 chain helmets, and I don't know if there are that many chain helmets on the server right now, so I'm going to quickly do a quick run around all the spawners. I know there's at least one over at my double zombie spawner. There's one, but I think I combined them to repair it. No idea why I did that, because nobody's actually using chain armor, but I combined a couple to repair it so it was fully repaired, and that means there's only one. But when they're on armor stands, that doesn't really matter too much. Oh, cool, we got one in here. Good. overstock room. How are we looking? Is it going to be in one of these? Got one there, and we've got a couple of those which we could combine. Oh, fantastic. We've got 2 more in here. Good stuff. Well, I did that just by visiting Freehaven, which is great. So we're going to head back over to the ruin. I'm going to put the pipe organ together off camera, and I'll be able to show you guys what it... Basically, it involves a lot of quartz, so I'm not even sure that I will have enough. So I'm not going to be able to do it on camera just in case that I don't have too much and have to go and grab some more. But yeah, got a ton of pillar quartz on me, got all of this stuff. I had some snow as well, is going to be involved. You'll see why, probably. And I might even end up making a tutorial about this on Thursday if you guys like it. So let me know in the comments when it comes up. I'll see you guys in a second. So here we are, back in the Abbey. This is what I've been doing around the walls. I've kind of got a little bit more detail around the entranceway. Just wanted to bring the curvature of that in a little bit. I'll definitely add some more detail around the top. Now, we've got kind of like a pattern going around over here. I wasn't super sure what to do with the stained glass windows, but I figured seeing as there's water behind all of them, they're going to end up looking kind of blue anyway, so I just went with regular clear glass and then black stained glass in the middle there. And these are all blocks as well. I was thinking about using panes, but then I thought the way they would look with the water collision box and stuff would end up being kind of weird. So yeah, this pattern continues on both sides, which is pretty cool. I'm still not entirely sure. There's a bit of sponge up there that I left behind. And the roof drips still as well, so I will need to do something about that, although it may include just leaving it to drip in places, because obviously this whole place is going to be ruined eventually. I just need to kind of figure out how that's going to affect the structure of the place. So still need to do something with that door, still need to do something around the sides, but this is the design I came up with for the pipe organ. It's pretty much pillar quartz and quartz stairs. There's dark oak wood around the back, and then the keyboard in the middle here looks pretty awesome. I'm really, really happy with this, and if you guys are interested, let me know in the comments. I will post a video tutorial for this probably on Thursday this week, just so we can get on with that. And yeah, somebody suggested that I do a pipe organ after I did the rock band stage, and that was pretty much next on my list because I wanted to make it for this build anyway. So yeah, as once I've got the back wall on, I might put some more pipes up there, because pipe organs usually have huge kind of banks of pipes that are mounted in the walls that all kind of gets directed, like the air gets directed to them through the floor. And I really like the fact that the armor stands holding up those chain helmets show through there, because that actually looks like there are kind of like working things. Organs have like pedals. They have multiple keyboards usually. I only went with one this time around just because of how it looked, and they usually have like pedals that do the bass notes and stuff down there by the organist's feet, so that at least makes it look like there's something going on behind there. And yeah, I have yet to expand the stained glass windows to the rest of the build, but I might do something a little bit different if I change up the design here and there. I didn't want to completely commit to doing the same thing through the whole build. So yeah, this is progress on the Drowned Abbey. I'm really happy with how this is coming together. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode. My name has been Pixlriffs. Please leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to my channel if you want to see more, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye for now. We have a best sellers section in the shop, and that's going to be books that, you know, people just want to come in, they want to buy a book, and they know that they want something kind of special. So this is where stuff like Silk Touch is going to go. This is where I guess maybe Protection 4 can go. Some of the stuff that you know people are going to want on a regular basis. So